In this video, I will demonstrate how to utilize a MySQL cloud database and the mySQL connector module in Python to access the database. There are various cloud database providers available, such as Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, and Microsoft Azure. Since this video is intended for students, such as myself, I prefer to use services that do not require a credit card. Fortunately, I have discovered a provider that allows you to set up a basic MySQL database without entering any credit card information, making it perfect for planning and learning purposes. To begin, visit clever-cloud.com and create an account. By signing up, you will gain access to various features, including the ability to create MySQL databases. Simply click on the Create an Account button located at the bottom and provide your email address, password, and agree to the terms and conditions. Afterward, you will receive the usual verification email. Once you activate your account, you can proceed with entering the required information. Remember to save the account details for future reference. Once you have logged in, like many other cloud providers, Clever Cloud allows you to create different resources. These resources can range from computing sources for hosting applications to storage resources. In the case of a MySQL database, they refer to it as an add-on. Their terminology may vary for different computing resources. To create a MySQL database, navigate to the Add-on section and select MySQL. Choose the Dev option, which provides a free storage capacity of 10 megabytes. This is ideal if you are still learning and experimenting with applications. After selecting the option, proceed to the next step. Provide a suitable name for your database, such as MyDB. Clever Cloud will then create the resource, essentially setting up a MySQL database for you. They will provide you with the host URL, where your database is located on the web, along with the database name, username, and password. With this information, we can now connect to the database using Python. To utilize the MySQL connector module, you need to ensure it is installed. I've already installed it, so I can't really show you that part, but if you haven't installed it yet, you can use the pip package manager to install it. W3 Schools provides reliable instructions on how to install the module. Now, let's proceed with the script. Open a Python file and save it as test.py. Begin by importing the mysql.connector module using the following line: import mysql.connector. Great. Next, we need to establish a connection to the database. Declare a variable called mydb and assign it the result of the connection function. It will look something like this. Remember to fill in the empty strings with the appropriate values. Retrieve the host name, user, database name, and password from the information provided by Clever Cloud. So this is going to return an object that essentially represents the connection and allows you to execute SQL operations to do things like retrieve entries or delete things or whatever. To confirm that the connection is successful, I am going to say print mydb. This will output a message confirming the connection to the MySQL database. Okay, so to run the script, simply I am just going click run, but you can also open a terminal or command prompt and execute the command python3 mydb.py. You will see an object, the connection to the database, displayed in the output. From here, we have a range of possibilities. We can run queries to retrieve or delete information, or create tables to store data, and so forth. One of the things with really any kind of database is you want to have some kind of administration tool that will let you monitor its activity. In the case of MySQL databases, a commonly used tool is phpMyAdmin. By accessing phpMyAdmin, you gain visibility into the database. To access phpMyAdmin, simply click on the phpMyAdmin link, and it will load the administration tool. Although it may be a bit slow, it gets the job done. Clicking on our database name will display any existing tables. This powerful phpMyAdmin tool allows you to create tables and populate them with entries. Now, let's go ahead and create a table using Python. We'll start with our first SQL operation. To perform operations using the connection object, we need to obtain a cursor. We can do this by assigning a variable such as myCursor to mydb.cursor. This cursor object enables us to execute commands. For example, we can use mycursor.execute to create a table called users and execute the command, create table users. Note that a table must have at least one column. So now, I'll create the users table with columns name, varchar, and address, varchar, each with a maximum length of 255 characters. Now, if we check the phpMyAdmin tool, we can see that the users table has been successfully created within the database. As a result, we have directly impacted the database by adding a table. In typical scenarios, creating tables within the database is not a common practice in standard database access code. Usually, we focus on retrieving and deleting data from existing tables. However, for the purpose of this demonstration, we'll just kind of create the table within Python. If I try to run this again, I'll encounter an issue. It will show an error saying table users already exists. To overcome this, we can drop the table using the command mycursor.execute, drop table if exists users. This command ensures that we start with a clean slate. We drop the table if it exists and then recreate it, allowing us to experiment freely. Now, the users table will be empty. Inserting data into the table. Let's insert some data into the table. To do this, we need to define an SQL statement and the corresponding values. For example, we can create an SQL statement SQL equals insert into users, name, address, values, %s, where %s acts as a placeholder for values. We can then define the values using val equals, Yuki, Madagascar 21. Finally, we execute the SQL statement using mycursor.execute, SQL, val, and commit the changes using mydb.commit. This will insert an entry into the users table. Updating data in the table. We can also update existing records. For instance, SQL equals update users set address equals Japan where address equals Madagascar 21 will update the address from Madagascar 21 to Japan for all records matching the condition. We execute the statement using mycursor.execute, SQL, and commit the changes. Selecting data from the table. To retrieve records from the table, we can use a select statement. For example, select asterisk from users retrieves all columns and records from the users table. We can execute the statement directly without any placeholders using mycursor.execute, select asterisk from users. Then, we use myResult equals mycursor.fetchAll, to retrieve all the entries and loop through myResult to print each entry. Deleting data from the table. To delete a specific record, we use a delete statement. For instance, SQL equals delete from users where name equals Yuki will delete the entry with the name Yuki. We execute the statement using mycursor.execute, SQL, and commit the changes. That covers the basics of using the Clever Cloud MySQL Cloud Database Solution and the mySQL connector module in Python. With these tools, we can create, read, update, and delete data. Feel free to experiment further. Thank you.